In the name of God, hello and welcome to The Facts. Today we are going to talk about the second letter of the leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, to the youth of Europe and America. We have precious guests here in this episode, and we're going to talk to them. Welcome, guys. Michael, I'm going to start with you. Is it okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, good. Why do you think that Ayatollah Khamenei wrote this letter after the incident of France? What was the importance of this letter?
I think the real importance of this letter can only be understood if you read it very carefully, because it touches very different aspects. And it comes in the very right moment. Why? Number one, of course, the first answer, of course, is that it's directed to the youth. And all of us know that the youth is the future of any country. So it's also the future of the possibility of the exchange of views, and is the future of the possible friendship among peoples. And this friendship and the future is under heavy danger because of Takfiri activities, Takfiri ideology, Islamophobia, and of course the daily rotten offensive of the present day life under European capitalist organization, which is completely materialist, which is without any values, which is empty, and which is, without any real life and future. So I think, therefore, it is a good start, and a start of building bridges. But because it is so good, the enemy of the humanity, they try by all means to suppress this letter and news about the letter. Therefore, the main media, of course, they're completely silent about the letter. Then there's some propaganda. Interesting enough, I have just discovered that the Wahhabi Takfiri Saudi regime is pumping a lot of money into this operation to, disinform the public opinion about the letter. So the enemy reaction towards the letter shows the importance of the letter.
Yes, thank you. And Zainab, why do you think that this letter is meant to be read mainly by the youth?
I think this Ayatollah Sayyid Khamenei wrote this letter to the youth. he considers the youth as a future of the civilizations and the future of nations in on the world. So, in order to build a good and a peaceful future, we should provide them that there a misunderstanding about our religion, about Islam, and they got this understanding from a corrupt media, and corrupt governments, which are trying always to hide the real face of Islam from the world. So we have to show them the real face of Islam, that Islam is a religion of peace and religion of mercy.
Michael, there are some serious points in this letter about the contradictions of the Western policies. Are these contradictions mentioned for the youth by anyone else or any other media?
The ruling media, the dominating media in Europe, if it is Germany or Britain or France, it makes no difference, or Spain, they don't differentiate. They are fully on the line. There are some little differences among them, but the general line is very clear. The general line is against Iran, against Syria, against our brothers in Yemen, so against the real Islamic movements, and also they are pushing forward this kind of Islamophobia that you have in a growing tendency in Europe, and this Islamophobia is also used by open neo-fascist forces who are attacking Muslims and refugees, etc., even by force, and even some were already killed in some countries. So therefore, these kind of the ruling media, the dominant media, they do not have this kind of even got not interest to show the reality, and therefore, of course, they do not report about the letter and about many other events. What they only do is what is their job? It's disinformation.
Right, thank you. What do you think about this first step that Ayatollah Khamenei pointed out? The first step is creating security and peace is reforming this violence-breeding mentality. What does it mean?
That means we should, first of all, we should make the people understand that we can live with each other in spite of our difference, regardless of our language and everything else. We can live in peace without violence. That it isn't necessary that someone who's different from us, we shall kill him because he's different. Just this is a wrong. So the Ayatollah Sayyid Khamenei tries to send us a letter that we can live as a human, regardless of our difference, regardless of our regardless of our everything else. We are human. We all are human. So humans. So we can live as a humans. No need for other things.
Right.
It isn't. Yes. So you can understand me. We are all human. So there is no need for more.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you are different.
Exactly. Thank you.
And what do you think about this first step that Ayatollah Khamenei just pointed out? I mean, the first step in creating security and peace is reforming this violence, which is, breeding mentality. So what does it mean, and what do you think about that?
Well, it's very powerful. After the September 11th attacks, George Bush got on television and said the reason we've been attacked was because, quote, they hate our freedom. There is this whole idea in many places, in many parts of the United States, that this violence, this rise of terrorism is simply happening randomly. It has nothing to do with anything that's gone on before it. That people in the Middle East they just can't stand that people in the U.S. are free, and so they're just randomly attacking us. And they don't seem to see that it's linked. It's closely linked with U.S. foreign policy, that superior extremist groups have been nurtured and funded and armed by the U.S., that the U.S. has been destabilizing the Middle East and making sure that no stable or healthy society can emerge there. All kinds of U.S. foreign policies have contributed to the rise of extremism and Takfirism. I mean, most recently, it's been the effort to destabilize Syria. Everyone knows that ISIS is a direct result of the